All right, today we are talking about Tate the Rock. We're on 11-4, Solving Inequalities by Multiplying and Dividing, the second lesson for today. And Tate the Rock collects rocks. We're not talking about his muscles, we're talking about his... Tate collects rocks. He's in a rock collecting club and has been tasked to make at least $500 for the club. He's doing this by selling rocks he originally bought for $2.50 and turns around and sells them for $4. That would be per rock. What is the least number of rocks he must sell to reach his goal? You need an inequality. And then you need to solve. Sirius, what was the inequality you wrote for this problem? 500, so that would be the amount of money he needs to make?
Is
greater than or equal to 4x. Why 4x?
Because he's selling them for $4 and X is the number of rocks he has to,
Okay, but remember, if Tate buys them for $2.50, is he making $4 off of every rock? Because Tate doesn't want to pay any of his own money. That's why he bought these rocks to sell. He's trying to make money off of these rocks, right? So if we do 4x, x being the number of rocks he sells, he's going to end up losing money because each rock he sells, he's going to make how much? $1.50, right?
Yeah.
So what would be your inequality you would write? What would be the inequality you would write? Then Lance?
1.5x. 1 and 5/10 x.
What is x?
The number of rocks we need to sell.
So let's say x equals number of rocks to sell. Okay, and what is it again?
500 is greater than or equal to 1 and 5/10 x.
And 1 5/10 x comes from the fact that he buys
For $4.
for $4.
Well, no, he buys for $2.50.
He buys for $2.50
And he sells for $4.
and he sells for $4. So you got $1.50 from 4 minus 250 times r. I'm sorry, r is what I have in my notes. We'll call this x, right?
But it would be.
So what would, Ben said 150x, right? And 150x comes from the fact that he sells the rocks for 4. He bought them for $2.50. So for every rock he sells, he makes $1.50. Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. So we've got 500 is greater than or equal to 1.5x. You guys cool with that? We divide by 1.5 because I know you guys can do that. We divide by 1.5. Then what is 500 divided by 1.5?
333 and 1/3.
333 and 1/3 is greater than or equal to x.
Yep.
Really? Okay. So 333 and 1/3, we got 333.3. We've got 334, and we've got 333. You guys cool with that?
No.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just graphing it. Aren't I graphing it?
Yeah, but your graph is inconsistent.
What do you guys want me to do? You don't like my graph?
What's
wrong? What's wrong with it? Justin, what's wrong with it?
You can't sell a third of a rock. So
Okay.
you have to round it up to 3.
So 334?
Yeah.
So we're not cutting rocks in half. Okay, so we're going to say the answer here is going to be 334. So that's going to change all this.
It'd be 333. No, I thought we were to round up.
Kyle, what's wrong?
The inequality sign is going the wrong way.
Well, let's do this. Just for kicks and giggles, let's ignore the inequality sign because we're going to get there. Let's just say the answer is 333 and 1/3, which is actually exact. Okay? We'll go with it. So 333 and 1/3. Whoops. 333 and 1/3. Let's call this. Some of you said, Mr. Podger, your graph is inaccurate. You're not numbering by the same amount of numbers. So 334 and 1/3.
Yes.
And 332 and 1/3.
Yes.
Okay, so we're saying x is less than or equal to 333 and 1/3. So we're going to put a closed circle here. Yes, no?
Yep.
And we're going to go towards the...
No.
Yeah.
No.
X is less than or equal to 333 and 1/3. So am I doing this right according to my inequality here?
Yeah.
Yes, I am, aren't I? So if x is less than or equal to 333 and 1/3, my arrow goes this way. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so let's check. If Tate sells 0 rocks, he should meet his goal. Right? What? Well, according to Ben's formula, according to Ben's equation, anything that is equal to or less than 333 and 1/3 will work. Right? According to his equation, that's right, right? So is 0 less than or equal to 333 and 1/3? Yes or no?
Yes.
It is. So if Tate sells 0 rocks, he will reach his goal. Is there a problem here? Okay, so here's the question. If you graph this and call it the good and move on to the next problem, you just got it wrong, right? If you graph this and you actually say, well, let's throw some numbers in and see if it works, and I'm just going to use the number 0 because 0 should work according to this answer, I'm going to realize there's a problem, right? So Ben Lance, let's give you a chance to redeem yourself. What is the problem?
Well, the beginning is just inequality has to be good.
So 500,
Because x has to be at least 500.
x has to be at least 500.
Not the 500 has to be at least.
So the x has to be, this is my x, the number of rocks. Whatever he sells must at least be 500 or more, right?
Yep.
So equal to or greater than. The x must be. So let's divide by 1.5, Benny. And Ben, what does that equal?
33 and
33?
333.
333 and
1/3.
1/3. Now let's go back to what Justin said. Can you sell a third of a rock?
No.
Well, you can crack a rock in half.
Okay, let's just say, sure, we can sell a third of a rock. We graph it. 3, 3, and actually I'm proud of those of you that said, Mr. Pottinger, your graph was wrong because you have to have equal increments on your number line. 332 and 1/3. Closed circle or open circle, Ben?
Close.
Closed circle, because if he sells 333 and 1/3, will it work?
Yes.
Okay, and which way are we going? Towards 334, towards 332?
334.
So if he sells 334 rocks, will he reach his goal?
Yes.
If he sells 335 rocks, will he reach his goal?
Yes.
If he sells 336 rocks, will he reach his goal?
Yes.
If he sells less than 333 and 1/3 rocks, like 332, will he reach his goal?
No.
No. Does that make sense, you guys? Kate, what's up?
I don't think I'll be selling 334.
Well, then I'm kicking you out of the club. So actually, to be honest with you, excuse me, probably the best answer is going to be 334 rocks, right? He's going to have to sell at least 334. Because if he sells 333 rocks, will he reach his goal?
No.
If he sells 334 rocks, will he reach his goal? Yes.